Hey, hello, how's it going? Welcome back. It's been another week in Tokyo. I'm honestly finding it hard to continue finding energy to think that everything is new and exciting because I've kind of just settled myself down into this nice little groove where things I go out and do now are just things that I'm doing in my city as opposed to new and exciting things I've wanted to do in Tokyo for my entire life. Even though some of those things absolutely are things I've wanted to do for my entire life. I went to Shibuya for the first time this weekend. Visiting that Hachiko statue has been on my bucket list for over 10 years since I played The World Ends With You way back before I was even 20 years old. I'm not done exploring that area yet. I have only seen a couple of the spots that I think I wanted to see, but I've seen Scramble Crossing, I've seen the Hachiko statue, and I've seen Building 109, because it is basically impossible to miss that thing from anywhere near Scramble Crossing. The building is huge! So yeah, I went out to Shibuya on Friday for a networking party with my internship group, and it was an all-you-can-drink, which are things that exist here, and I didn't know those were things. We just kept getting more sake bottles, and every time one came out, I'm like, dude, this is gonna be a big tab. Are you sure that this is okay to pay for? And I kept having to remind myself, no, they have all-you-can-drinks here. I don't remember what they're called, but they definitely do. So that was a really fun night, and then I just wandered around Shibuya with some of the people on a Friday night, and we were very drunk. Wow, the beers in Shibuya are still, they're pricey. What I understand is that they have all-you-can-drinks everywhere for the girls to come out to Shibuya, basically as bait to get the guys to come out, because the guys will pay to be around the girls. Also on Saturday, I went out to a Tengu Matsuri festival, which I think it has to do with the coming of the spring, even though it's only February. But it's definitely got something to do with the new year, the new season rolling over. I know I'm gonna screw this up, but my understanding, the summary of it was throwing beans for the sake of purifying streets or for chasing demons out. And then the Tengu, I have never known this before, is actually some kind of a mountain god or something. So people had masks everywhere and there was a parade float for it, but there was only one dude in the whole parade that was representing a Tengu. And the dude had wooden sandals on with only one prong going to the floor on each foot, and he made the loudest clacks when he walked, and it was damn impressive. Except at the end of everything, man, my legs were not happy having followed a parade around for 3 or 4 hours through crammed Tokyo streets and having the entire crowd, as a unit, scramble and bend over to pick up beans when they were thrown out. That was painful. Still kind of settling in at work. Although, gotten over an initial little honeymoon phase, and now I'm into the realm where, I feel like I'm pushing up a little bit too much against authority. I don't want to rock boats, and I don't want to, give across the wrong impression. But at the same time, I've got things that, I have been trained to do, and things that I think look good. And then when I get told to do them differently, it's not that the criticism is bad, but it's that I need to understand why, and explain why I did it my way, and trying to talk through a translator for that kind of exchange is exceedingly difficult. Every time we have a feedback session right now, it goes a little bit over time, and I end up feeling terrible because I just feel like I'm pushing back too much, because I just like to argue and I like to debate and I like to understand, and it's really, really hard to do that in an environment where you can't communicate subtleties very well. It seems like my supervisor right now, not the one I was supposed to have, he's still in the hospital, but the one that's filling in is good-natured and still happy with the work that I'm putting out. It's just, I feel bad getting into back and forths trying to understand and trying to explain, and then saying one word wrong that goes through the translator, and then that just takes us down an entire side branch. I shouldn't have said that one word. Now that's all they're focusing on. Oh, apparently I had the first earthquake happened on Friday night, and apparently it was a big one, and I didn't realize because I slept through it. There was alarms in the house, and people's phones are going off, and I woke up and saw a red triangle on my phone. I'm was there an earthquake? Oh, damn it. I really want to know what that was like. Trying to push myself to talk to different people at work. I brought in Smash Bros last week for just to like play Byleth at lunch a little bit. And then I had to explain to one of my work friends there who's recently bought a Switch how to play Smash Bros. Because he'd never played any of them in his life. And that was a really weird thing to try and wrap my mind around. Because I feel like everybody that I know at least has a rough concept of how Smash Bros works. So to explain it from ground zero was tricky. No, that's not damage. No, that number has nothing to do with your attack power. No, when it goes up, it's bad. It's about launching, not HP bar. I should have put it through the tutorial. I should have just let him watch the video instead of trying to explain it. Now I am basically obligated to bring my Switch every day at lunch because apparently I've started a small Smash Bros group, which just consists of me, a Chinese guy named JK, and whoever else wants to play at lunch. But hey, anything that brings people over and gets them having a good time. I think aside from that, there's not really a whole hell of a lot more going on right now, but let me check what the questions were. Even though this isn't a trip for fun, are you planning on picking up anything to bring home when you get the chance? Not really. I didn't have any plans for buying souvenirs. The only thing that I did want to get while I was over here was a Pyra statue, and I have not looked into getting that yet. I hope it's not too late. It's from the Good Smile Company, but I want to make sure that, like, because I don't know how long it'll take to make or to get delivered or anything like that. So I think what I might end up doing is, like, if I get the job for real, I'll get it when I come back. So once I know that I've got a place like locked down for a while, and I know that time is going to be okay. Aside from that, no, not really. I'm not much of a souvenirs guy. I'm not much of a... Yeah, souvenirs is just the best word for it. I don't really buy small plastic things. It's just more stuff I have to keep track of and that's possible to break in transit. Any Japan events in the near future that you might be into? I am very interested in the cherry blossom festivals around late March, beginning of April, which is great because that's like right when it's my last few weeks. So apparently the weather is fantastic then, and I have several different events lined up for it. Thankfully, it's not just one weekend. I think it's like a week or two that those cherry blossoms are following. So I am really looking forward to all of the all-you-can-drinks there. And the warmer weather, and just how beautiful all the cherry blossoms are supposed to be. How good are you into look dev? It's the first thing hearing from you as you are more emphasizes on animation. Sorry, Roxo. I like look dev, even though I've never heard a definition for it before I came to work here. If it's what I think it is, it's just basically like dialing in the final look for something, which is basically what you have to do throughout the entire process in game art. Like, I worked on shaders for a while, which means it's basically pre-production look dev work, because you're dialing in how something's gonna look in your real-time renderer, and like how the environment wants to look, and it's art style in a sense, and it's how the lighting wants to play off everything. And as a technical artist and a shader artist, that's kind of where I lived when I was at my last job. So it's not something that I think I want to do as a full-time career, but it is something I'm already like more than passingly familiar with. And I can definitely have conversations with people about it. But that's just kind of what I get for being a generalist at my last place. Lastly, if you have not seen Kimi no Namae wa or Your Name yet, I just watched that last night on recommendation from some new friends in Japan, and also on recommendation for work, for a visual reference. And by the time I was done watching that movie, I was not watching it for reference anymore. That's a real good movie. That's a real good anime movie. Go watch that. It's like $5 on YouTube to rent it. If you have any more questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'll try to answer them next time. And if you have any other suggestions for Japanese events you think would be cool for me to go and check out, also let me know. Can't promise I'm gonna go do them. I only have so many hours in a weekend, but you know, maybe I can bring something as an option to my work friends, suggest to them for the week. Let me try that sentence again. Maybe I can bring an option to my work friends as a suggestion for a weekend event, rather than waiting for them to ask me. Have a good week. Fire Emblem comes out next week. The new DLC, so stream is gonna get back to that once I'm done with Mega Man 6 X6. Oh, that game fucking sucks.